What's your biggest Letterboxd pet peeve? I always see people complain about joke reviews and one-liners, but I've also seen people complain about long reviews. I know some people hate oddly specific lists. I've heard complaints about people who don't rate movies, and I've heard complaints about people who rate movies but never review them. So I'm curious, what do you see on Letterboxd that annoys you the most? Because I'm pretty sure I'm annoying everyone equally. I've already made a video about why I don't rate movies, but when I first started using Letterboxd, I didn't really review movies either. Over the last few years, I started forcing myself to write something about every movie I log, even if it's just one word. And I started doing that because I couldn't remember how I felt about certain movies. So everything I post on there is really just for myself to help me remember how I felt about a movie, whether it's a thorough review, a brief summary of my immediate reaction, a quote from the film, or a joke that I know no one else is going to find funny. But the people who hate joke reviews and one-liners will complain that it's performative and people are just trying to come up with a clever joke so that it gets a lot of likes. But I'm the type of person who laughs at my own jokes, so I assure you, if I'm posting a joke review, I'm not sitting there thinking to myself, haha, people are going to find this funny and I'm going to get so many likes. I'm literally laughing to myself thinking no one else is going to think this is funny, but I don't care. If I post something stupid, it is 100% for my own amusement, which is why my biggest Letterboxd pet peeve is when people comment on my reviews to let me know they disagree or tell me I just didn't understand the movie. There's no point in commenting on a review you disagree with, and those people might argue that they're just trying to have a conversation about the movie, but 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. Those people tend to resort to personal attacks and aren't trying to have a discussion where they keep an open mind. They just want to prove people wrong and validate their own opinions. But when you do things like that, you don't give people the space to change their mind. If you're going to call me names because I didn't like a movie that you loved, there's no healthy discussion to be had there. You're not going to help me understand why this movie I disliked is actually a masterpiece. And part of the reason why I don't spend a lot of time writing reviews about movies I dislike is because I usually read other people's reviews to help me understand different perspectives, which is why I don't need people commenting on my review to tell me they disagree. I already know people disagree because I spent time reading their reviews trying to understand what they saw in a movie that perhaps I just didn't get. When someone leaves those types of negative comments, it's almost guaranteed that if I look at their profile, they gave the movie 5 stars and left angry comments on a bunch of negative reviews. If I love a movie, I don't intentionally look for negative reviews just to comment on them and tell the person I think they're wrong, because what's the point of that? Why should that person care that some random person on the internet disagrees with them? I understand that it's hard not to take it personally when someone is tearing apart a movie you love, but it's only personal if the person is talking to you specifically. If I post on Letterboxd that I love a movie and you go out of your way to comment on my review and tell me you thought the movie was horrible, then you're making it personal because I didn't ask for your opinion. But if you post your own review about how you thought the movie was horrible, then it's not personal, you're just sharing your opinion. I really think a lot of people need to learn how to just scroll past things they disagree with. If you don't like something, don't comment on it. Make your own post and express your opinion there. I usually prefer to keep my negative opinions to myself because I want people to enjoy things. But like I said, what I post on Letterboxd is for myself. But even in real life, if one of my friends loves a movie and I hated it, I don't tell them I hated it unless they explicitly ask me what I thought of the movie, because what's the point? I want them to continue loving this movie that they love. I don't want them to hear this negative talk about it. Usually I'm jealous that I didn't love the movie too. I think more people should stop and ask themselves, what is the point of this comment before they comment on something? But comment on this video and let me know what your biggest Letterboxd pet peeves are. And the point of that comment is that I am actually asking.